So this is a sharing. This is a sharing. And oh no, first I want to say about next week. Next week there will be no Zoom meeting. No, not on the Friday and not on the Saturday. We are in Prague. There will be a live weekend in Prague. So there's still places. So if you want to come to Prague, you're welcome. And then the week after, then there will be a Zoom again. So this is a sharing. This is not a teaching. This is not about knowing anything. This is a sharing of what is, what's obvious. When there's an openness, there's can be a sharing of what's going on, how things go, or what's really obvious. There's nothing speaking. There's no one. When they're saying there's no one, it's not only that in this body, which is always there, there will be no one. That's a lot of times. I was thinking that a long time. There's no one. That means there's nothing happening, and it's an appearance of a body. Seems like that. Then there's can be speaking. So there's nothing speaking. It's already like that. It's not special for this. It's everywhere. It's like that. There's nothing tabling. There's nothing speaking. There's nothing walling. It's an appearance. It, it's an apparent happening. So it's an appearance of a wall, which is walling. It's full on, but it doesn't go anywhere. There's no time. There's no distance. So when there's no one, there's nothing speaking, and there's talking without any meaning at all, then that's what's happening. So there's only what is happening, and there's no one looking at it, because that assumes that there's someone inside who can have the ability to look at him of herself and look at how you feel and how it's going, and assuming and believing there's a free will and choice. So there's a life happening to me, to her, him. And there's something going on in the world. There's a world outside. There's an abstract and the ability to abstract. So there's can be a belief and an understanding of there's a world outside. There's something happening inside. There's over there. There's over here. There's no one. So there's also there can be the brain can abstract, but it's meaningless. It doesn't go anywhere. Everything is empty. Everything is empty. And in the same time, it's full on. So that's crazy, because we are so into everything is solid and real and going somewhere. And looking at yourself and thinking there's something missing, there's something dissatisfying. And then there's that idea that there may be in non-duality or something, maybe in being rich, or maybe with therapy, but also can be in non-duality. When there's no me, maybe then there will be more peace, there will be more freedom, or something like that. If there's a looking for that, or maybe love, there's finally there will be unconditional love. It's a misunderstanding. There is already unconditional love. This is already freedom. There's nowhere to go. This is everything. So there's not something more special or better than something else. There's no right and wrong. That's only in the story of me thinking there should be something changing, because there's a subtle feeling of there's something wrong with me or with the world. I'm not enough. This is not good enough. So there's a drive to make it right in some way. When all that is lost, that drive, that it can't believe anymore. It's just it's lost. It's not that I do that or you can do that, because there's already no one. And then suddenly it's so like, oh, there never was someone. There never was someone. Life is happening, you could say, by itself, which makes it into something. Life is happening. That's what's going on. And it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't have any meaning. It doesn't have any purpose. It's already complete as it is. A glass of water, a feeling, a face in that way, looking at that way. That's everything. It's new. It's that. And this is not about feeling free all the time. There's no, it's not about feeling always free. There is no always. There is that what's happening, and that can be a sense, there can be a tension, there can be feelings, there can be a glass of water. It's not about you or me or us or whatever. We assume that here this body is always there and I'm in it, and it's about me and how can I have a better life or how can I be free and all that. The freedom is that there's no one. Everything is lost. No beliefs or concepts. And suddenly, oh, it's this. Well, it's so normal. It's so not special at all. And suddenly there can be an idea when there's, I am here and I'm looking and I'm doing something and I want something else. It's suddenly there can be a longing for something special for yourself, or a certain energy or feeling free or all that. It's not special, it's not something, it's everything. So there can be any feeling. It's not that there's no tension anymore or no anger anymore, which some people are saying. It's everything. And it was already like that. So in that way, there's no change. The only change, you could say, is that no one is trying to change it. That's lost. That idea that I can change it and being busy with that all the time. There was not the ability to change, but it feels like I'm able to choose and to change and to do something with what's going on. There never was. There never was control. There never was that ability to change or to make something happen. But when the belief is very strong, it's also experienced in a certain way. So it seems like, yeah, it's like that. And when it's not going, I'm not doing enough and all that. It never was like that. That whole idea about trying to do something and be busy with myself and all that is completely useless. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It doesn't have any function. But it seems like very much, very important and very being involved in that. Everything is already going. So also thoughts. It's just what's happening. There's no meaning in thoughts. It's thoughts. There's nothing wrong with anything. That's the freedom. It's everything already. It's not that there's something not happening and maybe one day there will be no me anymore or something else. It's already. And it doesn't matter if there's an idea that but I'm still there. I feel I'm still there. Then those ideas or beliefs can be there. Yeah? It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. There can be for you in the story that it feels like, yeah, but there's something not right and all that. It's the misunderstanding that there's something wrong with anything. But that's so embodied. That's so, you can't even not undo that or something like that. So that can be for a while. It can be like, oh, it's about, that's not even, not necessary to change. But it's not even that. It's not necessary to change. It's like, it's everything. It's the joy of that it's everything. It's a hand, it's this, it's that. Look at a baby, look at really little children. It's like, oh, that. And it's the wonder of everything. So it's not like, oh, there's no need for for anything to change. It's all there is. It's everything. It's what's happening. That sounds a bit flat. That can be for a period that it's very obvious it's only that. But life is full on. Life is everything. And it doesn't mean it's nice or always a wonder or all that. There can be pain or tension or tiredness or rain. It's everything. The funny thing is, when there's nothing going on, trying to change, and that what's going on is it, there's something about life. It's like, oh, it's this, which seems normally when everything is flat and everything is solid and real. Then it seems like, yeah, this is the table, the table. What is about the table? And suddenly it's like, oh yeah, but it's the table. It doesn't mean it's always like that. But there's a wonder, a joy somewhere. It's life. It has nothing to do with Rose. There is no Rose. That's also, maybe it's not apparent so immediately, but there's no Rose. That's a construct that we think there's a story about time, that Rose is doing things or somebody else. And then she was born and that's what's happening and she did this and she did that and she's like that. It's a story. There can be a lot of stories about anyone. There's no Rose. There's that face, and they're speaking. That's everything. It doesn't go anywhere, doesn't need to be heard. It's what's happening. And this is more a sharing. There's no knowing, there's no being better or anything. Everything is lost. So this is it. This is already complete as it is. It's very, very ordinary, very normal. Irritation can happen. And again, asking questions can happen, or maybe a sharing of something, what's going on. And there can be talking in the story. Also, it's everything. So there's also talking in the story. And there can be a lot of concepts, but in the same time, nothing is happening. It's crazy. It's so paradoxical. There can be an understanding, maybe some people, but it doesn't need to be understood. It's it's a glass of water. It's already that. No need to understand anything. It's what it is. And that's already, so there's nothing needed. So if you want to say something, or maybe you want to share or ask, you can unmute yourself, or maybe you can write something, and we'll see. And there can be questions about wanting to make something more clear. It doesn't matter what it is. There's nothing wrong. Even when I'm saying it's not about understanding, and there's a question about understanding, then there's that question. There's a question here. Do you have boundaries? Now, there is no one, and there are no boundaries. There's only boundaries in the story. This is nothing. There's no one there, so there's nothing. There can be this seeing this body, but there's not someone inside. That's what we assume always, that there's someone inside and this is the border of that body. There are no borders. It's only when they're seeing that can be seeing like, oh, that's a border like that. It's a construct. It's confirming that I'm here in this body and this is my border. And you have to how do you say, you have to take care of me, or you have to respect me, all that. There are no boundaries. This is already freedom. There's no someone, so there are also no individuals here and over there, another body like that. There's no one, so there's also already no one. So that when there's not talking to someone, not only here but everywhere. We assume it's talking to someone, and someone should have a response or asking something. There can be a response. That's what's happening. But it's not happening to someone, for someone. There is no one. There is nothing inside. It's empty already. And we have a lot of constructs about how life is and how we take care of ourselves and our dear ones and all that, and responsibility and boundaries and um, a lot of different words. That's very abstracting what's going on. There can be pain, but it's not because of something, because of someone. It's pain happening. There's no time, so there's nothing before. There's no um, consequences. So there's nothing before. There's just what is. So it's not because what you say or somebody says, and I feel pain or somewhere or tension. It's because of you said that. No, it's what is happening. It has nothing to do with something else. There's no time. There are no boundaries. So it's not someone doing that to me. There is no someone already. There are no individuals already. There's only what is apparently happening. Tension can be there. Sadness. The table. It's not always about us, because that's what a lot of time the talking is about, that we are so busy with ourselves and how we feel and how everything is going and circumstances, because it seems like I'm the center and everything is happening to me, circumstances are for me, and how do I relate, how do I have enough money, how do I travel, or how do not anything about that, how do I feel, can I feel more more peaceful, all that. It's an endless being busy with nothing. It doesn't bring anything, but it can be very, very much suffering and being busy with anything. There's a question. Hi, Rose. I spent some time with family. It's so different, so many concepts and the need to control. So I, of the body, feels really bad afterwards. But nothing is wrong. What about this? Because it feels wrong for this body system, and at least it's very exhausting, and it takes time to recover or relax. Yeah, that's also one of the things. We think we are there. We have a body. It's our body. We have to take care of it. All that is part of the story of me. The body isn't real. So the body is also even not always there. So there's no when there's no one, there's also not being busy taking care of the body. That what is happening is what's happening. And there can be tension. But even tension or exhaustion can happen, but it's not happening in the body. That's what's so strong. That belief can be so strong and embodied, that so normal. There's exhaustion. That's happening in space in the room. That's what's happening. There's nothing wrong with anything. So there can be exhaustion, there can be tension, there can be drinking wine, or it's not about us. That's what we think. It's about our lives and how can we deal and how can we feel more relaxed or more peaceful or anything. It's not about us. Life is everything. So there can be exhaustion and there can be circumstances, but we think because of that, there's happening this. That's so the normal way. So when that belief is there and that's so embodied, it's so the normal way. So it's experienced also like that. And then there's hearing, no, there's no consequences. There's no before and there's no after. So there's nothing because of anything else. It's crazy because but that's the freedom. So nothing has to do with anything. It's singular. There can be being with family and all that, and there can be exhaustion and then all that. And we think we have to take care of the body. The body isn't mine or yours. The body isn't real. There's that what's happening. There can be pain. Maybe there's going to the doctor. It doesn't say like you don't need to do anything because it's not, there's no one. So there's also not saying you can't, it's not about doing or not doing. And we are so busy with trying to do or not to do or how to do or all that because we think we have, there's something going on. I have to take care. I have to do this, or maybe do less of this and all that. And you can't even imagine that there's no need for all that. It's amazing that when that all is lost, that all being busy with everything, and everything is going and how to do this and being more and being busy, and that suddenly stops just for no reason. And everything goes on. Doesn't mean it's always nice or all that. It's just what's happening. But that whole idea, that whole being busy with me and trying to feel and trying to deal with what's going on, when that's lost, there's nothing lost. It wasn't already, it was already a dream. And we thought it's the most, I did, of course, the most important thing of the depth of everything, then being busy and how to deal and how to sing and look, how to eat, what's good to eat, being busy with health and all that. It can be, it's not, there's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't have any effect or it's a dream. So there's being busy. Yeah, that's it. It doesn't change anything. So there's already exhaustion. And it's not all day. It's that can happen and there's walking and there's something else and all that. So there's nothing going on like recovering. That's how we see it in the story. It's what is happening. There's no time. That's crazy because when we're in the story busy with ourselves, it seems like the whole day or maybe 2 days there can be tension and all that because we're so busy with what's going on. When that's lost, there can be tension and maybe after a day or just in the story, oh suddenly it's still it's oh there's tension, but it's not still there. There is the next day there is tension. So this is completely out of the story. It has nothing to do with the story and time and distance. It's new. And there's somebody saying, nice to see you. Thank you for this sitting. Do you have children? In the story, there are three children, yes. And somebody's saying, the body isn't real, nervous system either. No, the body isn't real. Nothing is real. It's amazing. It's like so normal that everything is that maybe I always thought that, oh yeah, circumstances and the table and all that. Yeah, there can be a seeing of its energy and not real and all that. I could see that some moments. But the body, I never expected that the body wasn't real till a moment that suddenly that's for me was the first time that it was very obvious that I was sitting in the garden and the body wasn't there. I couldn't, I was looking at it and there was seeing, there was, the trees were there, but the body wasn't there. It was like crazy. And then it seems like, oh, I assume the body is always there. It isn't. It's crazy. This is completely shock. There can be a shocking, like, oh, the body isn't always there. It's an appearance, and there can be seeing that there can be that hand or anything or pain. It's what's happening. So it's not about a certain way. There is no certain way. Life is happening, not to you, not to me. And it's everything. It's body, it's table, it's street, it's a sensation. It's singular. Everything is singular. Mm. Mm. And this is not about believing it or that because I say it that it's true or something like that. There is no truth. There can be a resonance and there can be there can be concepts that not that strong anymore. There can be a belief about something and there can be something like, oh, I don't know how it happens. And then suddenly it can be like, oh, I can't believe some things that were so obvious for me and so I believed. And then suddenly it's not that strong anymore. That can happen. It's about that. It's not about a new belief or a knowing. It has nothing to do with this. So there can be a lot of question about that, not believing it or anything. Of course, why not?
Is there anything serious?
There can be being serious in the story, but nothing is serious. It's going nowhere. Everything is empty. Everything is empty. That's maybe the same. There can be talking seriously with someone or something like that, but it's also empty in the same time. Serious is has something solid in itself, I think.
Mhm.
We should be serious now because this is a very serious subject where we're talking about now, something like that. It makes
It's
it's
funny.
yeah, but it makes it into something, or when we talk about illness or maybe about any subject, war, anything, it makes it into something, and it isn't something. It's an appearance. It's empty. That's crazy because we're so involved in everything that's really, really um, happening. There's nothing real. It's an appearance.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with the story. That's we are so involved normally with the story, and especially with yourself or somebody else or circumstances that seem so real, and that makes it serious or important. Yeah.
And I like your nose.
My nose. Mm. Mm. And nothing is always there. That's also it's serious. When we're talking about something, it's always there and we have to deal with it and how shall we do it? And it's the whole time it's there. Nothing is the whole time there. It's that what's going and there can be talking about that and then there's walking somewhere and there's just seeing the sun or something like that. It's completely new and different. Has nothing to do with what happened, seems to happen before. There is no before. It didn't even happen. That's even more crazy. That's so free. It's so free. That makes it sometimes when that suddenly is just like that. It's so strong and so free. Wow, it's nearly the body can't take it because we're so used to seriousness and important and holding it together and dealing with it and all that. And suddenly, buff, it's about nothing. It's just freedom. Woof. Wow. Hmm. It's new. There's no time. So it's that or this or that. So there's no continuation. No control. There's also no control then. That can be frightening because we think like we have a free will and without free will and a certain behaving that we think we should do, that it makes it like more safe because that can happen that it's more safe so people will love you or maybe behaving in a certain way or anything. So control seems in the story really important that you have enough money so you have your job and like all kind of things that can happen in the story that makes everything a bit like more safe and more that you can deal with it and all that. But there's also when that going on, when that control's going on, there's also a feeling of there's something lost in that wonder of that aliveness is not so strong anymore because then control means that there's a lot of being busy trying to hold it together in a certain way. It has to be like that. So there's also there can be in when there's control there can be also somewhere a longing for maybe freedom or rest because it's very exhausting control. And the funny thing is, and that's amazing, there never was control. There can be busy with that all day and being busy with that. But underneath that, you could say, in a way, life is just going. It doesn't have anything to do with what you're thinking or what you're busy with. It's just completely something else. It's a complete something extra being busy with that. And life is going, and we think it's because of what we do and we think and all that. It has nothing to do. It's just a dream of being busy with everything and being in control. And life is just going by itself. It doesn't listen to you. No, it doesn't see you. There is no you. So it's just going. It's energetic how everything is going. It has nothing to do with all the ideas we have about free will and choice and a certain behaving and all that. That's amazing when that's lost. It's like, oh my God, I was so busy, so spent so much time and all that. And it was completely it isn't wrong. It's just what's happening. But wow, it was exhausting and it didn't go anywhere. Wow. God. But it seems so important and you can hear it maybe and still there can be that holding on because that's so embodied. It's not only a thought or a belief, it's more than that. Mm. Yeah, not possible to hold things together, like with cleaning up, for example. I can't do it anymore. It happens or not. And I did not to do it when it happened. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, we think we have to do it, and then suddenly the energy is there and it happens or not. Yeah, it's amazing. Sometimes it can be very clear. So when there's not that energy of, for example, cleaning, it doesn't happen, and then suddenly it's there, and then the cleaning can happen for a while, and maybe not everything, and then it's so has nothing to do with you, but it's amazing to see that because it's can also be a bit frightening because that feeling there's a control that seems like a bit more safe or more solid. Mm. Yes. Mhm. Yeah. And there's also what I remember now, that when there was that trying to control and all that, busy with that, I had the idea when I don't do that, everything will go wrong. Because I'm really important to hold it together and to say what people should do or my children or anything. And oh wow, it was so strong. And a fear to that people say, yeah, let it go. And I was like, yeah, but everything goes wrong when I do that. So it's not like, oh yeah, of course I let go. No. Can't- in another way, you can't let go, of course, but it can be frightening and it can be that can be so also embodied that that's really important to do. There can be fear. That's it. Of course, there can be fear. What fear is what's happening. It's not because of anything. It's not because of something is going wrong of anything. It's fear. We make always assumption like this is because of this. This is why, and this is I have to do something. No, it's fear. Can be that sensation like that. Yeah. Mm. And then after a while, it's something else or the floor. It's not all. It's not about you or me. Life is. Yes, so is the impression. Yeah. Mm. There's also not talking about anything that this is less than something else. So when there's a feeling like I'm in the story and still be busy with all that kind of thing, and it could be feeling like, I'm still in that and all that, then that's what's happening. There's nothing wrong or right with that. There's being involved with all kind of things that seems to be important. Then that's what's happening. There's nothing right or wrong with anything. So when there's talking about that, then there's talking about that. Then that's what's going on. Somebody's asking, oh, and so there are no wishes. There can be a wish, but not really, because it's empty. So there can be a wish of something, but not really, because it's not. But also, there's also no wish, because that what's happening is everything, is full on. So it's complete. So there's nothing going on like dissatisfaction or this is not enough or it should be different or I want something else or maybe that doesn't feel good. So what can I do? That's lost. It doesn't arrive. It doesn't come. So it's not that I do that suddenly or something like that. But it's, well, in the same time, it's also like everything is full. Everything is complete. It's that when that whole idea of there's something missing and there's something wrong, that misunderstanding, but that can be so embodied, that me or with all the behaving and constructs and belief, when that's lost, it's suddenly like, oh, of course it's already what's going on. And it's not even there's nothing wrong, it's what it is, and that's amazing. And that's so strange because we can't even imagine that there can be like that cup of tea. That's full on. That's we can't even imagine that they're talking about that. But when we see really little children, they can be with a wonder, looking at their finger or something like that. Not even you see that they don't know it's their finger or there's no identity and all that. So that's the same. There's a wonder. It's everything. So it doesn't matter what it is. And even the crying is full on, but it is not wrong or awful. It's crying or whatever. How was the US? Let's talk. Then we talk a little bit in the story. Then the US. It was so nice because we were invited. So people, there were two people that we could stay there in their home or near their home, and then we were brought to all kind of places, and we had a really nice weekend. We had were like 10, 12 people or something like that. And it was, I loved it. I loved it very much. Nice temperature. Well, also the people where we met also in the weekend. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah. Mm. But what's lost also is that being busy, like, oh, we should have done something else. Oh, yeah, that's nice, but, and then blah, 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 blah. It's just not arising. And that's crazy. Well, I never knew it should be like that. Well, it's not there. So everything is it. Everyone is it. There's a love for everything. It's being in love. Doesn't mean it being in love is like irritation can happen. Like, what do you say? Really? Well, yeah. So what? Then that's what's going on. And it's in the irritation, it's empty too. I don't know. I can't say, but that's the joy. Life is that. Life is joy. Life is that. Where we are so into there's something gone wrong and there's something missing and how can we make it right and this is wrong and this should be better and now I have to recover and I have to do this and all that. It's the misunderstanding. There's a right and wrong. But that's so embodied. It's so, you can't say, no, we don't do that anymore because it's in everything. It's not the words. That can be like, yeah, but it's more natural. And then it's like, it subtly comes in a subtle way. So it's amazing when that's lost. It's just, life is amazing. But that doesn't mean it's always nice and like yippee-yay. No, it's everything. It's also pain and sadness and whatever. Cold.
Hello, Rose.
Hi.
Sorry,
Hi.
I haven't got the video on because I'm actually there's a crying and there's sadness because it's
Mm,
so overwhelming,
mm,
overwhelmingly. Oh, it's just the in loveness and
oh,
oh, it's just I can't help crying.
uh,
It's a
mm,
sadness, but it's it's like because of I can't even say there's no
mm,
because of it's
mm.
uh, um
It
when
doesn't
the
feel like sadness. You say sadness, but maybe it's not sadness. I don't know, but it feels more like
oh, it's
being
just
touched or
being
like that.
touched. It's
Or
that
it's
it's
like,
that
ah, yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
like
Mm,
listening to some beautiful music or
yeah,
seeing
yeah,
something so beautiful that
yeah. You have
there's
to
the
cry.
crying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what I
Yeah,
mean. It's this
yeah, sure.
overwhelmment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I mean, here there's still this feeling of isness and reality,
Mm,
but there's nothing else. It's how
mm,
I don't know how to express it. There's nothing else.
mm.
So I've had visitors coming and they're looking out, oh, I need to exercise, or you must be looking forward to the x-ray on Tuesday. And it's like, it's already good. I don't need a good,
Yeah.
a better day. It's like,
Ah,
it's already, I
yeah,
mean, it doesn't have to be good. It's just already full
yeah.
or already complete. There's no need. There's no lack. There's no need for, oh, I can't wait for to be able to walk again. I can't wait. There's none of that. It's already so full, and yet there's still this. Well, I can't even know what. I don't know what's real, or it doesn't matter anymore.
Mm,
It's just it has no importance whatsoever.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is like a child, because that it's no importance whether
Mm,
real or unreal. It's just like, I don't know. It's
no.
like not knowing.
Yeah.
It's like not knowing, and
No
and
explanation.
no explanation,
Mm, yeah.
and yet when I visit us, I can see the busyness,
Mm,
what's next, and what it's so
yeah.
obvious as well, but
Yeah. And then there's people being busy and maybe you go along or maybe not. You don't, I don't know.
no.
Yeah. Doesn't matter also. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh,
And it's just like, the first thing is like, oh, Rose, I love you, Rose.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Sorry,
love you.
I can,
Yeah. Well,
I
that,
can, I'm not
yeah.
crying anymore. I can put the
Ah,
video.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, it is that. It's just so
Yes,
stunning, and oh
yes,
my God, I can cry sometimes. I was in Vietnam. Sometimes I was in that swimming, and I just cried. I don't even know why, but suddenly
yes, yes,
can be so overwhelming.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah, yeah,
That's it. It just, like a burst of
yeah.
laughter or tears, or
Or
yeah.
love or whatever. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, even like you say, frustration. And last night I lay in bed, and suddenly there was a tear that, oh, I'm not with anyone, I'm not with a partner, and that it just comes up from nowhere. It's like,
Yeah.
everything's there. It's not suddenly, oh, everything's good. There's no more. It's just
No, there can be those thoughts, or there can be memories, and from, or maybe
memories.
emotions, and yeah, of
Exactly.
course,
Yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
it could be just physical, simply because it'd be nice to like hug someone when you're feeling poorly, that's all.
mm. Yeah. But that's also because we normally think we feel awful or something like that. But when there's a crying or feeling sad, it's it's not even something is going on, or it's awful. It's feeling sad, and then I don't know. There's no need for something to change that or to
Yes,
I don't know.
it's that
Yeah.
freedom.
Yeah.
It's like you can't even. There's nowhere to stop it. It's that freedom of crying, or smiling, or
Yeah. It changes, and I don't know. Yeah.
yes, yes,
And there can be old things that can arise, and then all that. Of course, that can also be there. Well,
yeah,
yeah, that's for a while, and then there's something else. Yeah.
yes. It feels strange, because it's like, because of this unknown. It's like, it's
Mm.
unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. When
it,
it's not known, we're not used to that.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And sometimes I wonder, is this just a state, and then, and that thought is there, and then it's gone, and it's like, it might be or it might not be. It's like,
So what?
so what?
Then
Yeah,
there's this state.
like,
Maybe it's a state. Some people say, "Yeah, maybe you're confused." Yeah, maybe I'm confused.
yes,
I
yes, exactly,
so what?
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That's
it's
not.
this,
It's not
it's
even like that. No.
it doesn't matter.
Well, it's very obvious. It's not. I don't know. It's not confusion. It's very obvious. It's very. It's that. God, it's amazing how it's all how life is. So it's not confusion. It's like a bit like, what are you saying? I don't even know what that means in that way.
That's right. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's that the absence of knowing. It's the absence of knowing. It's just like, I don't
Yeah,
know. What does
yeah,
that even mean? What's knowing? It's just
yeah,
that it's like,
yeah. A
yeah,
lot of explanation. You can't understand any. You can
yeah,
understand, but not really. There's nothing. There's no meaning in it. It's
yeah.
just not a lot of words like all that, all those abstract words like I don't know. Is resistance is also a word. What is resistance? I don't
Yes,
even know what it is.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
lovely to see
oh,
you.
thank you for this sharing.
Oh,
So nice that you share this. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. Well, I can't help it in a way. It's just like,
No, of
yeah.
course, but it's
I knew it
really
was starting at I think 6 my time, and I
mm,
was watching a recording with Trump, and I was listening to that, and it's equal. It doesn't matter what it is.
oh,
It's like, I don't know. It's just, why not? There's
mm,
no, everything's dropped, and oh, it's right or wrong, or it's like,
mm,
it's just watching people talk on the screen, and you know, and feelings coming up, and then, okay, that's enough. I'm going to go and listen to Rose now. It's
yeah,
just like that.
mm, mm.
It's just like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow, wow, oh, wow, yeah, great. Oh,
Thank
wow,
you, thank you.
yeah, thank you. Mm, mm. Spontaneity, or how do you say it? Spontaneous. Everything is already spontaneous. That's so funny. Some people say, "Yeah, I want to be more spontaneous." It can't be spontaneous because it's already spontaneous. What we have an idea about what spontaneous should be, or something like that. It's just full on that already complete. So it's already that.
I also was listening to music today, and yeah, that was really wonderful.
Mm.
And there was just that.
Mm. Ah, yeah. That's nice with music or with maybe with sporting, that there's nothing going on like being you can't be busy with something else because that makes it like it's one thing that's going on. That
Yeah.
so that's nice for that. Mm.
But I feel it also when I'm in nature or when I'm
Mm.
planting
Yeah,
the bulbs.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah,
yeah. And with cooking and so
yeah.
that
It's a lot
stuff.
of times that
Yeah.
there's nothing going on, and then
No.
suddenly it comes back, and it seems like it's there all day, but it isn't. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But as innocence as yeah, when I feel this innocence, then I'm touched.
Mm.
Yeah.
But everything is innocence. Innocence is not in a certain way because that's it can be misunderstood, can be confusing. That we have also all ideas about innocence, but there's only innocence. It can't
Mm,
be. wh- How can it be something else? There's no one.
yeah.
Mm, yeah. tears. Yeah.
Hi, Rose again.
Hi.
I was going to say I think maybe there was sadness came where I had the thought that there's no more questions, and there's no more searching for something else or different. So it feels a bit like a loss in a way. It's almost like that was like you get something from a question. There's an answer, and so that's, you know, that in a way it's felt like it's not there, so there's a sort of a loss.
It can be feel like an old friend that it isn't there anymore.
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's like because before I spoke, I thought I was trying to think of questions, and it's like there's nothing. Like no, even like it can't build itself. There's an absence of a questioner, I guess. I don't know. It's funny. Every time you say there's something, it's also not true. It's not about true, but
it's also empty. It's also nothing.
It's so empty. Yeah. Yes, it's yes, just yeah.
Yeah, you can't even tell. How can you say that? That's so strange. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess because there's no knowing, then there's no knowing of what is truth.
Yeah.
You don't know.
No.
It's just hearing sounds and talking and maybe different opinions. And actually there was something that has bothered me in the past. If I had a different opinion to a group of people, then there's the fear to be seen as odd or mad or different, and the fear of being seen as different to others because you want to be liked, or and now it's like I don't even know if I have an opinion or not.
Like, maybe you have, but
yes,
that's just there's no meaning in it or something.
Yes, that's right. Even that loses its ground. It doesn't have a ground. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, I might still have prefers, not believe the same things as other people might believe, on Facebook and things, and that's just that. Yeah, I don't believe the same things, and that's just that.
Yeah, and then what is that? It's just
yeah,
of course. It's that, and it's nothing in the same time. It's that,
yeah. Like I heard you say about you can have a serious conversation, and it can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then it's just gone already.
Yeah.
It can be just gone. There's nothing.
But it's also the seriousness is empty. So it's serious, and in the same time it's empty. Can't even say how. Sometimes
I guess
you can recognize that.
Yes, yeah. The seriousness itself is innocent.
Yeah. Yeah. It's there, but Yeah.
Um, oh, thank you.
Oh, nice speaking. Yeah. Mm. Beautiful. Mm.
I'll carry on because just thoughts are coming up, and it's just a realization there was so much fear of getting it right, because if you get it wrong, it's so scary
Yeah.
um, to get it. Do you say the right thing? Do you dare, even in these non-duality
Yeah.
groups, you like
Sure.
the it's like the image that you absorb the right language.
But yeah, in really in non-duality meetings, it can be like that too. Or in,
Yes.
yeah, of course, there are people are, yeah,
Yeah.
you're still in the me, you still believe there's a free will. We talked
Yeah.
about that. So what is
Yes.
that? Oh wow, there can be so many
Yes.
ideas about
But
that.
also that
Sure.
fear of I have to get it right. It's like it's
Mm.
dangerous not to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, of course. It's the same
Yes.
in a way, it's the same story again. Of course, with everything, it's about what's right and what's wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you're out the group, outside of the group. You're not loved anymore. Yeah, all that. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
Mm.
mad, isn't it? That's just so
It's
mad.
yeah, it's
That living in fear and
yeah. Yeah.
that belief that there is a right and a wrong, and
Yeah, of course.
oh wow.
It's so embodied. So it's not even thinking. It's just like the actions and the behaving is already in that. So
Yeah.
that can be so strong. Yeah, sure.
No, it doesn't matter. It's not. I don't want to swear.
Mm.
It's
There can be somebody saying something I don't know, I can't even remember, but I was saying something and there was somebody reacting in a very no, angry. So there was a flame, like, oh, what did I say, or something like that, and I couldn't even remember what I was saying. So
yes.
then it was gone, and it was like I don't know what I did after that, but it's like that.
Oh yeah, but
It's
it's
just
totally natural.
there
That's
can be
tot.
a flame, and
Yeah.
then the shock of that people react like that. Yeah, but that's it.
Yes. Yes. That's it. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Mm. And some people are also very clever in how to talk in a non-dual way like that. And there can be a feeling a bit of uncomfortable or a bit like, but you can't even say something because it's so clever and so clear. And still there's something going on. I was talking with someone about that. And when there's no one, it's just uncomplicated. It's just that, and there's nothing going on, and there's not being busy with it. It's just that conversation. It doesn't go anywhere. That's the difference. Mm.
Just so simple.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's so simple. Oh
simple,
my
but again,
God.
that could be taken in
Mm.
is just like a child,
Yeah.
just like a child. I don't know. It's you
But that
can't
can be
even.
when there's subtly that subtle me, like that feeling that I'm not good enough somewhere, that's so embodied. So that can be there, and in some situations it can be felt and all that. Of course, that can I
Yeah.
think that can go on. Yeah, of course.
Yes. 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 But it's amazing as well. It's so beautiful as well. I mean, it is. It's
Yeah,
just,
but in a way it is.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. You could say, yeah.
Yeah.
This is also not about being very clear or having a lot of explanations about things, how life is going. When that's going on, there can be a lot of questions about that and talking about that, and it can be very entertaining and being busy with that. I'm not interested in that because it can be nice, but it's not. I'm not even not good in that because I don't know. So it's more like there's nothing. There's nothing going on, and there's nothing right or wrong. It's everything. So it's the love of everything. It's unconditional love. Unconditional means there's nothing, there are no rules. There's nothing right or wrong or better or it's everything. It's being in love, and it's everything. That's what we're talking about, and that's being shared. There can only be a sharing because how can it's that? It's a sharing of unconditional love when the talking is going on, when the sitting is there. Is that's the sharing. Doesn't mean there need to be talked about it. It's there can be just sitting there with everything closed. Then that's the sharing too. It's already everything. And it's like you can't even, it can be a longing, but you can't even believe it because that's so stunning that there's nothing wrong. We're so in the story busy with, yeah, there should be now, and what did I do now, and I should, all that. It's so, we're so into, there's so many years, you could say. We were busy, we are involved in that. And then hearing, it's already everything. It doesn't matter. The behaving, it doesn't matter how to behave. Wow, how can you how can you hear this? Because that's so amazing that it's not about that this behaving is better than that. Then that's not at all. There's nothing going on about that. So if they're doing a lot of things in a stressy way, then there's that stressy. Yeah. What is there's it's exactly complete as it is in that way. That's the unconditional love. That's stunning. What a relief. Now, that's it. Sure. What a relief. Yeah. Yeah. And in the end, you think, like, of course. How could I? Amazing that it was so strong that I should do like this and not like, oh, wow. Well, it was so embodied and so believed and all that. You couldn't see it differently. So also that is not wrong. It's just the only way there was. So it's that's life too. So it can't be wrong. Also not how you did, maybe, or all that. No. That's the relief. That it's already that unconditional love in everything. It's complete as it is. Stressy, sitting like that. Yeah, so I couldn't believe that when I was young. I should have sit like this. All that. Yeah, everybody has his things. Yeah. And it's also a lot a lot of going on in the when it's in the story. Like it's very important to be health. So it's important to eat in a certain way, to exercise, to do things and all that, to take care of the body, to take care of your psychology and all that. So there's a lot of being busy with trying to heal, try to do that. And you can't even imagine what it is that there's nothing going on, that all being busy is lost, and that's maybe there's eating candy or walking or anything. And there's the freedom, there's the relaxation in a complete different way as what we ever imagined, because we think it's about doing in the right way and doing the right thing. And it has nothing to do with the right thing. There is no right thing. That what's being done, or what's happening, is it already. That's the amazing. That's the unconditional love. No manager. No. It's it's incredible to realize, even in a way, to realize that how I look, how everything is that's already complete. Wow, that's amazing. Mm.
There was so much attachment to being different.
Of course. Yes. Yes.
Like I can't be like this, and now it's like that. This completely absent.
Yeah.
Yes, like
Ah, yeah.
there's
There's,
there's nothing
yeah.
wrong. It's like
There's not even bothering with it. It's like
no,
amazing. Yeah,
no,
that's, yeah.
yeah.
I was always like, this can't be it, like I am and how I do in it. But what is it? And then I started. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Something to be
Yeah.
changed or
Yeah.
repaired or worked on, and
Yeah, it's
yeah,
very strong. And
yeah,
even that, because that can be the new one, that you're still in that being busy, that you have to change yourself. When that's going on, that can be so strong. Then that's what's happening. That can be those thoughts, and that energy is there. It's energetic. It has nothing to do with you. It's
yes,
energetic what's going on. There's nothing right or wrong with that too. Of course not. It's what's happening. That's life too. It's amazing.
yeah.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much,
Hmm.
and good night, good morning, or whatever,
Good
wherever
night. Good
people are.
morning.